So we're 6 months into the year. Time is flying by. Halfway through the year, you know what that means? Mid-year book tag. We have transitioned from spring to summer now. Doesn't really feel like it in the UK quite yet, but you know what? Can't complain. I'll take whatever heat I can get. But it's nice to reflect and look back at the first half of the year and see what I've accomplished reading-wise, what I'm looking forward to, what I have looked forward to in the past. According to my Fable, which you should really go check out, I've read a total of 24 books in the first half of the year so far. And I'm going to give myself a pat on the back just because I set my yearly goal to 30 and we're already at 24. We're only halfway through the year. Oh, I'm proud of myself. I am proud of myself. I told myself that this year I would start reading and I would start my journey of this whole booktube and start, just like not taking it seriously, but just in the sense of just being consistent because it's something I enjoy doing. So why not keep being consistent with it? And I think so far I've been pretty consistent. So let's talk about those 24 books. For the first question, it's going to be the best book that I have read in 2026. And I have a couple 5 stars. Obviously, not every 5 stars equal, but I want to mention them just because they were all good in their own separate lanes. My first 5-star of the year is going to be Heavenly Bodies by Iman Iru. It was just so good. I ate this book up in a week, and usually as a slow reader, that's pretty quick for me because it's kind of a chunky book. I just loved it. I believe it's original in my opinion. Is it a little trope heavy? Yes, but I don't think so. I ate this book up and left no crumbs. The end left me on a really big cliffhanger. I'm excited for book 3. It's all that you want in a romantasy and more. Like, you have powers, you have gods, you have stars as people. It's this whole thing. I loved it. The second 5-star read that I went into is very different, and it's Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is my first and only book that I read from Taylor Jenkins Reid, and let me tell you, my life has been changed. I went to start reading everything about her. When I first heard the concept of this being about astronauts and, things not going so well and it being a love story, I know love was going to be involved, but I genuinely had no idea besides that. And this was the most heartwarming and gut-wrenching story I've actually read in a really long, just like thinking about it makes me want to tear up. I cried during this book. I was emotional and I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. This is my first female romance and it was written in the most beautiful way. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this. Maybe this is the best book of 2026 so far. Just read it. And then the third and most recent 5-star read that I have had is going to be A Court of Mist and Fury. Yep. I liked ACOTAR. I enjoyed the plot of ACOTAR. Wasn't a big fan of Tamlin, but that's also because I knew he was an endgame. I didn't know how he was not endgame, and I didn't know how he was going to mess it up. He definitely messed it up by the end of this. Let me tell you that. But Rhysand, the man that you are, 5-star. I enjoyed everything. The build-up was perfect. The friendships were perfect. The found family is perfect. Like, I'm actually getting chills just thinking about this. I think I may fear I have to tie the best book of 2026 between Atmosphere and A Court of Mist and Fury. I feel like I'm the last person on earth to start ACOTAR, but I gotta get my Zoom because the new books are getting released this year. I'm enjoying, and I am jumping into A Court of Wings and Ruin. I'm excited. That's just to say the least. Now, onto the opposite scale of me hyping up books. Now the question is, what's the worst book that I read in 2026? To be fair, I have not DNF'd a book or rated a book below 3 stars this entire year. So I think I've had good overall, reads. I haven't had anything too disappointing, so this was kind of hard, so I had to just filter what was my lowest rated on Fable to be able to determine, because I don't have a specific book that I was like, ew, don't read it, worse, don't pick it up. I really enjoyed Assistant to the Villain, which is like a funny, quirky, just like romantasy, fantasy book. I really loved it. But then when I went into book 2, which was Apprentice to the Villain, I still loved it because of the characters, because I liked the author's writing. Just being in this world was super quirky and really fun. But the plot in book 2 really disappointed me because it really felt like rinse and repeat. I was like, where are we going with this? Book 3 got a lot better, and I'm glad that I pushed through book 2 and finished it. But I ended up rating that one a 3.5. which is still not bad by any means. It was still a good book. I'm not saying don't read Assistant to a Villain or don't read the series in general, because I really did enjoy it, and I will be reading book 4, which is coming out in August, Adversary to the Villain. I'm saying it's gonna be a bit of a slog. Maybe listen to it on audiobook so you can get through it. I had to pick a book for this category, and unfortunately it had to be Apprentice to a Villain. I'm sorry. Question number 3 is gonna be best sequel that I've read in 2026. I think you know where I'm going with this. You know, the only sequel that's my 5-star read, which is also book 1 of 2 of the best books I've read in 2026. A Court of Mr. Fury. I am probably the last person on earth to read ACOTAR, but if you have not read ACOTAR, you definitely should. Just know we don't like Tamlin. We love Rhysand. You don't know how we get there, but you're gonna enjoy how you get there. We go again back to the opposite, and the worst sequel that I've read in 2026 is also the worst book that I read in 2026. So not much to reiterate. I want to beat a dead horse, but it's gonna be Apprentice to the Villain. That's book 2 of a series. It was mid. It was fun. I like the characters, but it was mid. New releases from 2026 that I have not read and I want to get to and I'm anticipating getting to. 2 books come to mind. Both have been very recently hyped up and that's all I hear about. First, Starside. I have not read any of the Light Lark series or read anything that's Alex Astor. I am so excited to get into Starside because the synopsis that people give me, and then everybody tells me that the synopsis is just bare bones, that there's so much more to this world and the plot than just the synopsis. Metals and just different worlds and Starside metal and these swords that probably give you powers. They don't say it outright, but I'm gonna assume they give you powers. That sounds amazing to me. That's definitely on my need to read soon and need to purchase soon. The other book that I'm excited to read that was a new release is Daggermouth. I actually cannot tell you what it's about, but I've seen too many reactions that are too good, so I want to read it. Next question is my most anticipated release that's going to be coming out in the later half of 2026. And I think I've yapped a bit about this series now, and I haven't even finished it, that you know what I'm about to say, and it's going to be ACOTAR 6 and 7. Well, technically 6 comes out this year, and 7 will come out beginning of next year. But I'm excited. I haven't even finished my journey, but I know I'm going to need to continue it, so I'm excited. Other honorable mentions is going to be book 3 of the Heavenly Body series, and also Adversary to the Villain. As much as I did not like Apprentice, I want to keep the story going. Next question is going to be biggest surprise of the year, and to me, it's Atmosphere. I was not expecting a non-fantasy book to rate this high on my feels, on everything. I may be overhyping this, but I myself feel hyped about it. I haven't read something like this, I think, ever. I usually stick to fantasy, and this just opened my eyes. Piggybacking off of that, my new favorite authors of the year, I have 2. Taylor Jenkins Reid, obviously, because of everything that I've yapped your ear off about. Another author is going to be Neil Schumanster. He's the author of Scythe, which is Arc of Scythe Book 1. I have read this one. 4 stars, completely different dystopian world. Very interesting conversations about morality and what's ethical, what's not ethical. The next question is going to be my newest fictional grudge. You know what? Wingspan does matter. And I think the new initiate or whatever pledge to the Bat Boy Society or Bat Boy community or just loving Bat Boys because what? Rhysand? The suit, the nonchalantness, the walking with the hands in the pocket, and then the wings, and then... The next question is a book that made me cry, and I quite literally have already yapped to you enough about this book, but it was Atmosphere. Tears were rolling down my eyes, and I was not expecting to get emotional. Like, I knew people were dying. I knew some people were gonna die, some people were not, but I was crying involuntarily. She did that against my own will. Taylor, when I catch you, Taylor. Next question is a book that made me happy. I was thinking a little bit more outside the bubble, a little happy-go-lucky, and that's going to be First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. First of all, the book is gorgeous. Look at it. Look at it. Gorgina. That's what she is. And second of all, I was tee-ha-ha smiling the whole time. Yes, people are going through things in this book, but honestly, this whole time, this book was just nice. It was a nice palate cleanser from so much fantasy, so much crying. You should go read it. It's a really good romance. I'm very picky with my romances and just like overall contemporary romances because I can feel that they can get boring, but I rated this a 4 stars, so that says a lot, so you definitely should go read it. The next question is the most beautiful book that I've purchased or own for 2026, and that's going to be Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. I got this at Waterstones, the hardcover edition. I don't know if this is Waterstones specific or if it's UK specific, but all I know is it's gorgeous. First of all, This is just such a pretty book in general. Inside is what really grabbed my attention. Look at this artwork. I'm not a big special edition purchaser or a hardback purchaser in general. I'd rather just be more practical and get paperbacks. But when I saw this, I had to pay the price. I had to just get it hardback to suck it up. I didn't even read the synopsis when I opened this book and I saw Rebecca Ross, and I know I like her writing and I liked her Divine Rival series. I saw this artwork. I was like, oh yeah, we're in a time for our lives. We're in for a good time. And she shall come home with me. The last and final question are, what are the books that I need to get to before the end of 2026? We have a theme going on because I am on book 3 of ACOTAR, so I need to finish 2 more of ACOTAR books, and I need to read all of Crescent City to be prepared for the end of 2026, so I can read 6 at the end of 2026, and I can read 7 at the beginning of 2027. So it's gonna be a very Sarah J. Maas-filled year. Who's complaining? Not me. This is the mid-year book tag. I've honestly enjoyed my reading year. I'm going to continue to either be as good as I am doing right now or even better. I always want to be striving for better. I also don't want to burn myself out at the same time. Reading is meant to be enjoyed. Reading is not supposed to be a competition. Whether you do it a lot or a little, you're still a reader. You still enjoy reading, and you're gonna hear me yap about it regardless. I'm putting down the book tag questions down below. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy.